Hello guys and welcome back on my channel. I am Raspy and today we're back on Kerbal Space Program. So you may be wondering, where are the mapping videos? Let's talk about it. I have been doing mapping for like 2 years now. It got kinda boring. I still love doing mapping videos, but I don't really get the idea I need to do better videos because there are literally better mappers than me, and I still don't have better ideas to compete with them, let's say. So I will be doing mapping videos, but along with some stuff I do from my life, what I enjoy. I will show you what I do in the days of my life. And one of these things I do is Kerbal Space Program and research stuff about rocketry and rockets. So here I have got Kerbal Space Program. It's a game where you can take the lead of a space program, and like it's a basically like a simulator, but it's not really. I mean, it's not 100% realistic, or else it wouldn't even be a game. I think like we wouldn't even be able to play it. But it's mostly realistic, has the physics and all that, the maneuvers. So it's kinda realistic. I mean, it's not kinda, it's like 80% realistic. So we're going to start with the career mode. So I was thinking like, why not start a career mode with my subscribers? And here I am to start a career mode on this fantastic game. So we're going to press start game, and we're going to start a new one. I have some saves here, but we're going to start a new one. So here you have 3 game modes, which is sandbox, science, and career. So if you're a beginner, like if you're really new to the game, I would recommend starting from the science game mode, because here you don't have to worry about funds and reputation. So you will just have to fly around, get science points, and unlock new parts. In sandbox, you will have all the pieces unlocked, but the problem here is that you will have a lot of pieces, and if you don't know what they do, you will probably struggle in doing a stable rocket. So I'm going to start with the career mode, where you have funds, where you have the reputation and science points. So basically you are the CEO of a space program, or just something like Elon Musk, and make your own rockets and stuff. Whatever, let's just begin with the game. So I'm going to name it the TUAM project. TUAM project, which stands for Turkish Space Researching Center, in Turkish of course. So I'm gonna keep it, but I'm gonna add YouTube to the end of it, because I already have a save name like this. And I'm going to pick my own flag I have made for this, which is here. Now let's move on to the difficulty options. I'm going to play with normal, but if you're new to the game, I would recommend starting with easy, and a lot of stuff will be easier for you at the beginning. So I'm going to select normal and accept it. So let's hop straight into the game. So here we are in our space center. Welcome to the space center, thanks, and I'm going to explain what sheet buildings do. So here we have a vehicle assembly building. Here we will do all rockets, and so basically this is where you are going to design your rockets. Here you have your launch pad, which is the place where you are going to launch your rockets from. You have a space plane hangar. Here you will build your planes, and here you have the runway where your planes can take off actually. Here you have a mission control building. Here you will take your missions. I will explain each of building once we get further in the game. The administration building is something we will see when we go further in the game, which is something like that you hire people and gives you some bonuses and buffs. Here you have the astronaut complex. You can hire more astronauts, more engineers and scientists from here. You have the research and development. This is like the most important building of the Wall Space Center, because here you will unlock new pieces. And here we have a tracking station where we can follow our vessels in the orbit, in the other planets, and control them. So let's go to the mission control, and here we have some missions which we can select from. So I'm going to select those ones that we can actually do. So let's select this one, gather scientific data from Kerbal, and we're gonna accept it and launch our first vessel. We're gonna accept this as well. I will explain which of these do. So here we will do practically some researches on the launch pad, and here we will launch the actual rocket. So let's start with building our first rocket. Let's go to the vehicle assembly building. So here we are inside the building. We have a lot of pieces actually that we can choose from. We have pods, we have fuel tanks, engines, command and control, structural, robotics, coupling, payload, aerodynamics, ground, thermal, electricals, communication, science, cargo and utility. I'm going to explain you which of these do the thing. So to build an actual rocket, we will have to put a command pod or something that we'll be able to control. So I'm going to use an MK1 command pod to begin my rocket. So it's basically a pod where a Kerman is going inside. In this case, Jebediah is going inside this cabin and control the rocket from here. We don't have any fuel tanks right now because we did not research any engines. We have the RT5 Fleet solid fuel booster, and we're going to use this. This one is basically those engines that once you fire them, you can't close them and you can't throttle them. They just burn until they go out of fuel. And we just have that, so we're gonna use this for now. Of course we will need a parachute because we don't want to explode. We just want this thing to return back to the surface of Kerbal safely, so we will need a parachute, and I will set it to 2000 meters. Okay, let's keep it like this. So we're pretty much done with our rocket, but we will need to do some researches. Like, if you remember, we got a mission where it said that we had to gather scientific data from Kerbal. So let's go to science, and we have this mystery goo containment unit, which will do some researches and observe the surface and all that. So here I want to put 4 of these, so it's gonna be like this. So here on the bottom right we have the staging. It's pretty much right now. So basically how it's going to work is the engine is gonna fire and then the parachute will open. So I'm gonna save this as TUAM Fosbury MK1, and this is our rocket. We're gonna save it. There we go, and we're gonna launch it. Here we are in our rocket, but we will have to gather our first scientific data from Kerbal. Sorry for my bad spelling, actually. I can't spell data. No, I just can't. Whatever, let's just move on. We have a crew hatch, which is our command pod, and we're going to do a crew report from here, which will give us 1.5 science points. And we're gonna keep the experiment. And then we're going to do also an EVA report, and let's let it go. Jebediah will fall on the launch pad, and we will do an EVA report, which will give us 2.4 science points. Now let's see if we can return all rockets. Can't we? Doesn't look like we can. No, we can't return all rockets. So what are we going to do is recover our vessel, which is Jebediah in this case. And then we are going to take the rocket from the tracking station. So we have 9 science because we have the EVA that we have made with Jebediah and recovery of a vessel that survived the flight. And we have made the mission, so we have got our first science points. We have recovered the vessel, so we have the personal parachute of Jebediah and the EVA jetpack. And he got 1 experience point, but that's not enough to level up. He will need to do better. So let's go to the tracking station. I will show you how it works. So this is Kerbin. We have a lot of planets actually here, like Kerbin. We have Eve here. We have Moho, Duna, and all the other planets. Dress, Jewel, and Elo. We will be landing on not each of those because I don't know. We will see. We just have a long adventure on our front. Whatever. I just wanted to recover our vessel and turn back home. So our Fosbury is here, and we're gonna recover the vessel. We have got 1.5 science because we have made a crew report from the launch pad, and we're gonna keep it. We have got everything like the rocket back, so we have got our funds back as well. And there we go. Let's return back to the Space Center. So here we are back in our Space Center, and now we're going to launch our first rocket. So let's go back to the vehicle assembly building. There we go. We're just going to launch this thing basically. So let's launch it. And here we are on our launching pad. So we are going to open the SAS, which is going to give us a stability assist in our controls because our pilot is kind of experienced. Full throttle, even if this is useless because once you fire this engine, it won't be able to throttle or close it. I mean, we won't be able to. But before we launch the actual rocket, I wanted to do an observe mystery goo from the ground, from the launch pad, which is going to give us 3 science points, and we're going to keep the experiment. So we are ready for the launch. Let's do a small countdown, shall we? 3, 2, 1, lift off. There we go. I'm going to do another observe mystery goo from the air. There we go, 7 science points. We're going to face towards the right because I want to fall in the sea. There we go. Our engine run out of fuel. And we still can't open our parachute because we are too fast, and there we go. 5,000 meters. We're going to do another observe mystery goo once we reach this part of the atmosphere if we can. Okay, let's do another observe mystery goo from here. That's gonna give us 7 science points. And let's face the rocket towards the retrograde. Let's do also a crew report from the sky. And there we go, we are pretty much done. We just have to take care of our landing now. So, if you're kind of impatient and you don't want to wait, you can just warp the time and speed up the process. So we're going to fall into the sea, and our parachute will open. There we go, it opened, and we're going to slow down. And there we go, we're returning back. We will land on the sea. And let's speed this up. Time warp 4. And we will do we will use the last mystery goo once we are back on the ground, like once we are in the water. Last 500 meters. Last 100, let's remove the time warp. There we go. And we're about to touch the ground. And there we go, we touched the ground. And let's make the last observe mystery goo, which gives us 4 science points. And let's do also an UVA report from the ground. There we go, let it go. We're in the water. And we're going to do an EVA report from here. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? No, it wasn't, but you have got me some science points, which will be useful. So you will have to hop back to your command pod right now. Hop it in back. And there we go, let's recover our vessel. And there we go, we have got a lot of science points from all the experiments we have made in space. We have got a lot of funds. We have recovered also rockets. And Jebediah back. So we have 44 science points and a lot of funds. We're going to spend them now. So we're going to research and development, and we are going to unlock new pieces. So basic rocketry, we're going to spend 5 points and unlock a fuel tank, a better booster, like a bigger one, and a new engine. And here we have the couplers and thermometers. We're going to research this thing as well. And I'm going to research the survivability thing, which will give us heat shields, which is really important, and the barometer, and the landing struts. And there we go. Ah, come on, 1 point. Whatever, that will be all for this episode. We have made our first launch, and we have unlocked our first pieces. The next episode we will try to escape the atmosphere of Kerbin and then re-enter. Hope you will like this series actually. I really love this game, it's just amazing and really fun to play together. Here is our space center. So that's all for this video, and see you in the next episode.